What do narcissists do when they're alone? Emotionally, narcissists are constantly walking a tightrope, trying to balance their shaky self-esteem. What makes them feel more stable is getting a lot of external validation. For this reason, narcissists have a very hard time being alone. And if they are alone, they are constantly hunting for new sources of supply. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 7 things narcissists do when they are alone. Please stick around to the end of this video to find out what they are most definitely not doing. If you find this video helpful, please do me a quick favor and like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. People often ask me how they can support my channel, and your engagement is the best way to do that. Also, just wanted to let you know that I recently launched my membership site, so please consider becoming a part of my community. Okay, so let's jump right in. First, understand that to a narcissist, supply is like oxygen, and they need a constant source of supply in order to survive, which is why they have such a need to be in control of their sources of supply. Narcissistic supply refers to the admiration and validation that narcissists need in order to maintain their inflated self-image and their sense of self-worth. So if they're not getting enough, they feel insecure, irrelevant, small, weak, vulnerable, and extremely shameful. So they are almost always fantasizing and striving about achieving the success, power, beauty, brilliance, wealth, the ideal love that they believe will actually make them worthy. So here are 7 things that narcissists tend to do when they are alone. Number 1 is self-admiration. Narcissists spend a significant amount of time thinking about themselves, about their accomplishments, their perceived superiority. When they are alone, they may engage in activities that feed their ego, so they're fantasizing about success or replaying past achievements. They're indulging in these grandiose fantasies about having that something or someone that will make them happy and feel worthy of everyone's admiration and adoration. While engaged in their self-admiration, they will often reach out to others by text or by phone to brag and to get that external validation. Number 2 is they go on social media. When a narcissist is alone, social media tends to be their best way to hunt down supply. They may spend time on their social media platforms for self-promotion. So this, of course, is an attempt to seek validation, compliments, and praise. They may frequently post content that highlights their accomplishments, their material possessions, anything to affirm their self-worth and make sure that people are seeing them and thinking of them in the light that they want to be seen. They typically send messages to people, either people that they know, people that they don't know, doesn't really matter. They may be flirtatious, try to love bomb. They're probably fishing for compliments, but definitely for attention. They may leave a comment on someone's post with the goal of either getting admiration, drawing attention to themselves, or even just to, create some chaos or drama. So they might insult someone or put them down. They might start arguing with strangers on social media to validate their beliefs and boost their ego, and also to assert power and a sense of control. At the end of the day, all of their social media activities serve the same purpose, and that is to gain narcissistic supply. Sadly, for the narcissist, social media tends to be a double-edged sword, often fueling their insecurities as they can get very envious when they see other people showcasing their perfect lives. Number 3 is they plan and scheme. When alone, narcissists may meticulously plan and scheme ways to manipulate others. So this is to maintain control, it's to uphold their image of superiority. They may be strategizing on ways to exploit vulnerabilities in their relationships, to get sympathy or empathy from others, to plan revenge on other people who they perceive have harmed them in some way. Planning and scheming allows them to orchestrate situations that fulfill their need for attention, admiration, validation, and power and control. And this is often at the expense of other people's well-being. Here's an example. Let's say a narcissist is invited to a party where they want to make a big impression. They might spend a ton of time beforehand planning their entrance, planning their interactions to ensure that they stand out and receive a lot of attention and admiration. They will meticulously plan how to craft their image. So this might include things like planning their outfit, their makeup, their accessories, changing 100 times before going. They will strategize and plan conversations so that they can appear more intelligent, witty, and successful. They may scheme or begin planning potential ways to create drama, chaos, conflict, and excitement, and ways to stay the center of attention. So whether this is by telling extravagant stories or engaging in other types of attention-seeking behavior, they may also anticipate potential challenges to their dominance or their spotlight and strategize subtle ways to undermine or discredit other people through dismissive remarks, passive-aggressive behavior. Really, it's all about getting maximum amounts of supply. And if any part of their plan fails, they may get extremely upset as they may feel crushed by a sense of shame. And this can cause them to behave in impulsive and erratic ways and often in abusive and rageful ways. Number 4 is that narcissists ruminate when they are alone. So they replay conversations or interactions in their minds repetitively, selectively focusing on aspects of the conversation that reinforce their self-image as superior, successful, or admired. They might dwell on compliments that they received, instances where they asserted their dominance or control, or situations where they believed that they were the center of attention. By replaying these interactions, they seek to bolster their ego and maintain their inflated sense of self-importance. Also, narcissists may sometimes fixate on perceived slights or criticisms during these mental replays. However, they usually reinterpret these situations in a way that minimizes any of their flaws or faults and instead place the blame on others or dismiss the criticism altogether. Number 5 is they triangulate by text. When a narcissist is alone, they are often on their phone, creating conflict, chaos, competition, and manipulating others from a distance. Always stirring the pot, creating drama, and trying to gain a sense of control over people and situations. Since they have such a deep fear of being perceived as inadequate or flawed, they are often triangulating the people in their lives as a way to boost their own self-image and maintain control over their sources of supply, again by creating conflict and competition. Triangulation involves bringing third parties into a relationship dynamic, typically by comparing or contrasting one person with another. This tactic is used to isolate and gaslight others by sowing seeds of doubt, jealousy, insecurity, creating division among these people, and making them more susceptible to the narcissist's manipulations. Number 6 is reckless or impulsive behaviors. When left alone with their thoughts, a narcissist often feels very shameful. So to cope with these feelings, they often engage in activities that provide instant gratification, such as substance use, excessive shopping, or reckless sexual activities. These things offer instant distractions and immediate gratification, allowing the narcissist to temporarily escape from the emotional discomfort that they are experiencing. Number 7 is hoovering old sources of supply. If they can't find a new source of supply or they simply don't want to make the effort, they will reach out to old sources of supply. Most narcissists have a list of old suppliers, such as exes that haven't fully cut them off yet. The ex might think that they are special because the narcissist is still reaching out to them after all of this time. But no, what is actually happening is that you're like their convenience store, their backup plan, and the person they go to for a quick fill up anytime their tank is low. So maybe the narcissist is in a relationship, but when they're alone and bored, they reach out and flirt with you, or they call you to complain about their new relationship, or maybe they tell you that they can't get over you. Whatever it is aimed at getting supply from you quickly. They are likely reaching out to a bunch of people at the same time, and whoever responds first gets to fill their tank. Okay, so those are some of the things a narcissist will do when they are alone, but here is one thing that they are definitely not doing. They are not facing reality or facing their feelings of shame. Most of their waking hours are spent trying to distract themselves from their sad, lonely, empty, shameful inner reality by using others to maintain their delusional fantasies. So if you are constantly seeking supply to uphold your fragile ego, if your entire self-image relies on external validation, then narcissistic personality disorder is a possibility. But it's not the only possibility. If you suspect you may have NPD, consider reaching out to a mental health therapist who specializes in this disorder, who can help you manage your symptoms, regulate your emotions, give you better coping strategies to deal with feelings of shame, as well as help you manage your relationships better. Unfortunately, narcissists are typically the last ones to ever acknowledge their flaws, mistakes, or shortcomings. When faced with criticism or evidence of their harmful behaviors, they simply raise their defenses even higher. They deflect, they blame, they distort reality to protect their ego. Then they go out and find people to reinforce their false self-image and twisted narratives. They are experts at finding people to breathe life into them, people who will support and enable them in justifying and rationalizing their bad behaviors, unable to ever truly confront themselves and deal with the shame that's at the root of their recurring problems. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And to learn more about narcissistic personality disorder, click on the link above.